On one side, there's the Tesla Cybertruck, the electric pickup that tried to convince the world this is what the future of trucks should look like. On the other, Chevrolet has quietly built an electric truck that may not look nearly as futuristic, but its numbers could make it a much bigger problem for Tesla than expected. Meet the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado EV. Think about this. An electric truck offering up to 478 miles of range, towing up to 12,500 pounds, and producing as much as 760 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. Those are serious numbers for any pickup, let alone an electric one. But does more range actually make the Silverado EV better than the Cybertruck? Can its towing capability and everyday practicality put Tesla on the back foot? And is Chevrolet's electric Silverado genuinely capable off-road, or are the headline numbers only telling half the story? Most importantly, if this truck is as capable as it looks, why would anyone still choose a Cybertruck? The electric truck market is no longer being shaped by Tesla alone. Traditional automakers are bringing decades of truck-building experience into the EV market, and Chevrolet is taking a very different approach. Instead of reinventing what a pickup looks like, Chevrolet has taken the familiar Silverado formula and rebuilt it around electric power. That means the Silverado EV has to do more than look impressive. It has to carry serious loads, tow heavy trailers, travel long distances, charge quickly, and remain practical enough for everyday use. And that creates two very different philosophies. Tesla asked, what if we completely reinvented the pickup? Chevrolet is asking, what if we took everything people already love about a full-size truck and electrified it? Welcome to Car Matrix, where we take a closer look at the cars, technology, and engineering changing the way we move today. We're putting the 2026 Chevrolet Silverado EV under the microscope to find out whether it's simply another electric truck or a genuine problem for Tesla. One of the Silverado EV's biggest weapons is its range. For an electric truck, range isn't just another specification. It determines how useful the vehicle can be in everyday life. A truck can have enormous power and towing capability, but if you're constantly looking for a charger, that performance becomes much harder to use. Chevrolet clearly understands this. Depending on configuration, the 2026 Silverado EV can offer an EPA-estimated range reaching hundreds of miles, with certain versions advertised at up to 478 miles. That number is impressive because this isn't a small, lightweight city EV. It's a full-size pickup designed to carry people, equipment, and heavy loads. But there is an important catch. The maximum range depends on the exact configuration: battery, wheels, tires, payload, weather, speed, and driving conditions. So the headline figure isn't necessarily what every owner will experience, and once you attach a heavy trailer, the situation changes dramatically. Towing increases weight and aerodynamic resistance, which means an electric truck can lose a significant amount of range. So the real test isn't whether Chevrolet can produce a truck with an impressive range number. It's whether that range remains useful when you actually use the truck as a truck. That's where the Tesla comparison becomes interesting. The Cybertruck follows a completely different design philosophy, but Silverado EV combines long-distance capability with the traditional functionality buyers expect from a pickup. Chevrolet doesn't necessarily need to beat Tesla in every category. If it can offer enough range, towing capability, and practicality to convince buyers that an EV can replace their gasoline pickup, that's already a major achievement. And range is only the beginning, because the next question is more important. What happens when you actually put the Silverado EV to work? A truck isn't judged only by how far it can travel. It has to tow, haul, carry equipment, handle rough terrain, and remain useful when the pavement ends. That's exactly where the Silverado EV brings its traditional truck DNA into the electric world. Depending on configuration, it can tow up to 12,500 pounds, putting it firmly into serious towing territory. And electric motors have one major advantage here: instant torque. There's no waiting for an engine to build revs. Press the accelerator and the motors can deliver their torque immediately, making heavy loads feel remarkably easy to move from a standstill. But towing still comes with a major EV compromise. A heavy trailer can dramatically reduce range, so the Silverado EV's maximum range and its real-world towing range are two very different numbers. Anyone considering an electric truck needs to understand that before making the switch from gasoline. Chevrolet has also added features designed to make the Silverado EV genuinely useful as a pickup. The multi-flex midgate allows the rear section of the cabin to open into the bed. With the rear seats folded, it creates additional space for carrying objects that would be too long for a conventional bed. Then there's the e-trunk, enclosed front storage that replaces the space normally occupied by an engine. And for buyers who want more than highway capability, Chevrolet has introduced the Trail Boss for 2026. It gets a 2-inch suspension lift, 35-inch all-terrain tires, standard 4-wheel steering, and Sidewinder diagonal steering capability. That gives the Silverado EV a much more serious off-road personality. And this is where Chevrolet's strategy starts to make sense. It isn't asking truck buyers to forget everything they know about pickups just because this one is electric. It's keeping the features and functionality people expect while replacing the gasoline powertrain with electric motors. That may be the Silverado EV's biggest advantage over the Cybertruck. Tesla created something completely new. Chevrolet took something familiar and made it electric. And for many buyers, that could be the easier transition. After looking at the Silverado EV as a whole, it's clear this isn't just another electric pickup chasing the trend. It offers serious range, instant torque, up to 12,500 pounds of towing capacity, impressive power, practical cargo solutions, fast charging capability, and a dedicated Trail Boss configuration for buyers who want to leave the pavement. But its biggest strength may be its approach. Tesla completely reinvented the pickup with the Cybertruck. Chevrolet took the Silverado formula people already understand and transformed it into an EV. That matters because traditional truck buyers don't necessarily want something that feels like a spaceship. They want something capable, practical, comfortable, and familiar. The Silverado EV doesn't have to beat the Cybertruck at everything. It simply has to prove that going electric doesn't mean giving up what makes a truck useful. Of course, it isn't perfect. Real-world range can fall significantly when towing or carrying heavy loads, and some buyers may prefer the Cybertruck's futuristic design and technology. But the Silverado EV makes a strong argument for itself. The real question isn't whether it destroys Tesla. It doesn't. The bigger question is whether Chevrolet has built an electric truck that can compete where traditional truck buyers actually care. Range, towing, utility, comfort, and everyday usability. And if the answer is yes, then Chevrolet may have created something more important than another futuristic EV. It may have created an electric truck that makes the future feel normal. The Cybertruck made people look at the electric future. The Silverado EV could be the truck that makes people actually live in it, and that might be the biggest problem Tesla has to deal with.